The influx of Swifties capturing the Federal Reserve's attention, writing, May was the strongest month for hotel revenue in Philadelphia since the onset of the pandemic, citing Taylor Swift specifically. She's also an economic force that has even world leaders requesting their own Eras tour stops. Swift's sold-out shows draw hundreds of thousands of fans, each spending an estimated $1,300, which means the U.S. tour could generate $4.6 billion in consumer spending, according to the Common Sense Institute. That's more than the GDPs of Grenada, Belize, and Tonga combined.
So Taylor Swift is saving the economy now, which is a very ridiculous and goofy thing to say. It's actually very embarrassing. It's even more embarrassing than my nipples showing through that shirt. That's how excited I am at the moment, that even my nipples get hard. And by the way, by no means I am criticizing Taylor for anything, because she has nothing to do with that. That girl is having a world tour. That's what artists do. They just have tours all the time. They're touring after they release an album. It's not a new thing. I have a problem with the media presenting it. So let's go by the facts. So this tour is predicted to grow for about $5 billion and to become the highest grossing world tour of all time, which is a great milestone. It's a great achievement for Taylor. And I wouldn't have a problem, and I would never even make that video if the media presented it that way. Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift Eras Tour is the highest grossing tour of all time. That's it. But they don't. They're saying it as if she's saving the economy by creating jobs, as if it's happened for the first time. Literally every public event bringing jobs, like Olympics. Now first of all, they build some stadiums and stuff. They build Olympic villages for all the athletes. So it's around like thousands of people having a job, plus tourism. All the sport fans are gonna travel to the country, to the host of country for the Olympics, stay in the hotels, use restaurants, use everything. So, and the country will end up making a lot of money, and people as well. You know, just all the other people just trying to sell stuff to tourists, they're gonna make money too. So it's not a new thing. This type of stuff has been around for a century, for 100 years. Of course, not in a scale like 5 billion. They're presenting her as if she's like Michael Burry or something. They're presenting, even when back in 2018, Jeff Bezos was trying to create a second headquarters for Amazon and choosing a state, all the states were tearing each other apart. They were fighting for Jeff Bezos' approval. Right, and he at the end chose Virginia, and the second Amazon headquarters are in Virginia. So he is bringing jobs. In his case, in his regard, saying that Jeff Bezos is saving the economy, it makes sense, because he's a businessman, he's a multi-billionaire, one of the richest people in the world, and he owns one of the biggest companies in the world. So, which employs thousands of people. When he opens a new factory, it's like hundreds of jobs already, and hundreds of jobs, full-time jobs it's an actual employment. But Taylor Swift doesn't have a company. Taylor Swift is not a businessman. She's an artist. She's a singer, for Christ's sake. It's not like she's Andrew Carnegie or Karl Marx or any of these PhDs, economy PhDs, Wall Street guys sitting in front of computers, looking at the market, trying to figure out when the crash happens and how to prevent it. She's not like Michael Burry, the guy who was portrayed by Christian Bale in Big Short. So he was the one who noticed the recession in 2008. He was sitting in front of him looking at all these numbers, the market, wherever it goes, all the stocks, and he noticed that the crash is going to happen. Nobody believed him. He had a chance to save the economy, yes. But in Taylor's case, it's not like it's her intention or she understands anything about it. She's just a singer. She goes around and sings. Okay, it's great. I like her music. And even whatever happens, it's not the first time it happens. Maybe the scale of it, yeah, okay, the scale of it is big. $5 billion is big. But, the Olympics or like world championship, like UEFA, FIFA, they're bringing even more money. So, but nobody ever, I never saw the headlines of saving the economy. The only reason is just, in Taylor's case, as I said, its a scale is very big. It never happened in any musical artist's career that their world tour bringing so much money in billions. So I guess if it was like sport event, nobody would care. Nobody would say something like that. But if it's just because it's only about one person, it's not like a lot of athletes from a whole bunch of different countries gathered together and playing sports. It's just it's about her, and she on her own bringing in $5 billion. So that's the whole point. But saving the economy is a little bit stretched out. And also look at this, and also the way people are talking about the fans who are making money and like making money from Eras Toll. Okay, this is the ridiculousness I'm talking about. Taylor Swift fan makes $16,000 selling friendship bracelets for Eras Tour. So that woman's opened Etsy shop and sells friendship bracelets for, and she made overall $16,000. She sells it for $15. Okay, but there is not that much to talk about. That's what happens every time. I don't understand why they're talking about it in a way as if it was Taylor's, as if Taylor had a hand in it. She didn't give her that idea. Taylor didn't help her with that. It's just called seizing an opportunity. That woman saw an opportunity. She's a smart woman. She saw the opportunity and she went for it. That's it. It happens all the time. It's the same as when John Cook, BTS John Cook. So what he did, he wore a bracelet, and that bracelet sold out. Yes, he wore a bracelet. That bracelet sold out, which is understandable. He's a huge star. He has a lot of fans, and his fans are diehard. So, like whenever he wears something or whatever he does, they want to repeat it. If he wears something, they will buy and wear it too, right? So, and somebody who smart enough who sees the opportunity, they're gonna sell the same stuff and make money off it. That's it. There is no saving economy type of stuff. It's not happened. It never. It doesn't. It didn't happen for the first time in the history of humanity. It has been around for a century. Every time somebody goes on a tour, that's what people do. Of course, there is some ridiculous people as well. That's just for a job. Fans are trying to sell rainwater from Taylor Swift rain show concert for hundreds of dollars. So during a concert, there was a rain, and somebody decided to put this, to gather this rain in a cup or whatever this is, and sell it for $250, which is the stupidest thing I've ever saw. I don't know who will ever buy it. And that's a bad example. It was just for a joke. The whole point I'm trying to make, she doesn't save the economy. It's a normal circle of life, circle of trade. It's shameful for all these economists. They're sitting, they maybe like try to find a solution they can't, and the whole thing is so goofy. They're crediting her for something that it's not even wasn't even her intention, and they market it in a really ridiculous way, presenting her as some sort of a Jesus, as if she's a Moses, Jesus, or any other prophet. She's a she's an artist. You should market that as the highest grossing tour of all time. Yeah, that's a great milestone. That's a great achievement. Considering that's not even sustainable, the tour is gonna end. So what about, okay, all these people made money, but it's like freelancing. It's not a full-time job. In Amazon's case, at least he made a full-time job. That was the point. In his case, it's like kind of like a saving the economy. It's the economy of Virginia, just Virginia, but anyway, at least on a small scale, he did something. Throughout my entire life, I've always been hearing about the economical crisis. Never, ever somebody said throughout my lifetime that economy is doing great. We're always in a crisis. We're always in a recession. By the way, I don't want to be a jerk, but I guess I will. I come to think of it, this is gonna be the biggest tour of all time, bringing nearly $5 billion in revenue, and everybody, and that number is, by the way, is summed up out of the fact that everybody who attends that tour is gonna spend around $1.3 thousand, $1,300. So considering that the highest grossing tour happens at this time, right now, this year, and everybody has spare $1,300 to spend on that tour, So maybe the economy doesn't even need to be saved and everybody is doing fine. So please just stop with the ridiculousness and goodbye, I guess.